You are listening to The Ben Keech Show, where every day the objective is simple. Ben will never stop fighting the fight and lighting the light on topics that affect you every day.
Welcome to Kansas City, everybody. This is where we report live to you from The Ben Keech Show, this lovely town in the middle of this great country. My name is Ben Keech, and I'm so honored and thankful that you've decided to join us today as we look at a really interesting topic. And the topic of this episode is problem solved. How do we form true connections? How do we form true connections? You know, it doesn't matter. We think about connections and who we're close to. And, you know, you can have a married couple who, boy, why were they, like, what type of connection do they have? Or you have somebody who really connects at the workplace. Maybe they're really good at sales. They just have that knack of walking into a room and connecting with people. How does that happen? How do we train our young people to do this, to connect with each other? What's even the benefit of this, and why are we talking about it? Because the important part of the title is how to form true connections. There can be things that feel very disingenuous, fake, false. We know it when we see it, right? We know that you're trying to play me. There's something that's going on here that doesn't feel authentic. It doesn't feel that what are your motives? We see this in dating. We see this, honestly, we see it in all walks of life. True connections means that their intentions and their motives are pure. That the reason why they want to connect with you is because they actually care. So let's get into this. Why do we, let's start with our kids. Why do we connect with our kids? Well, some people may say, not everybody connects the same. Okay, true. So you have a parent, you have a kid, they love their kid, right? But why do they struggle at times with connection? Why? What can we do about it? One of the things that happens with connections with kids that go a little bit awry is when kids are younger, they are open to you. So dad walks in the door, the 8-year-old, the 4-year-old, dad, you know, they're excited to see you. Mom comes to pick them up from school, you know, they're maybe bubbling about their day or want to get into conversation or explain this or explain that. As kids get older, it doesn't mean that they want to connect less. They actually need to connect even more, but they act a little different sometimes. They're not going to be so gung-ho with their delivery. Think about a man pursuing a woman. You know, if every time a man walked into a bar and the women started drooling and swooning, oh my gosh, you're the best. I mean, it'd be pretty easy to pick up women, wouldn't it be? But that's not actually how it happens, is it? There has to be effort and conversations and connections just to simply even be in the same room as them and carry on a 10-minute conversation about whatever. With our teenager, it's the same thing. When our teenagers go to their room for 5 hours straight and we don't see them, that's on us to go to connect with them. We have to be in our masculine energy. We have to be aggressive in this sense. And, hey, tell me about your day. Tell me what's going on. Which of your friends who are you really close to? Do you know your kids' friends? Who they're talking to? What are they talking about? What's going on in their lives? Kids actually do want to tell you this information, but you can't be weird about it, and you have to be intentional about it. It can't be the only thing that you want to talk about with them. But you'd be amazed when you have a safe space for conversation with your kids, how you can really connect to their world. You see, it takes intention. You have to be intentional with what you're doing. You can't be a passive connector. You can't sit back and just hope that magic happens and these relationships are going to develop. We all know that parents and kids, as they move through their life, there is no guarantee about what this is going to look like later. Like, it's kind of a sad and almost twisted reality, but it's true. Our kids need us to connect with them and to have these real conversations about things that are going on in their lives. So if I'm trying to give you a takeaway here, we're trying to solve this problem. So the first way is we're going to ask questions. That's how we solve this problem. It doesn't matter who we're wanting to connect with. I'm a boss. I have an employee at work who's always 10 minutes later. What's going on? Why are we late? Tell me what's going on. That's a question. Well, blah, blah. It's like, well, is there anything that we can do about it? Or is there something personal that's going on? I am going to continue to ask questions because questions have an ability to show that we care. If you ask, like, if I ask a question, how was your day? And you say fine, I literally am only connecting with you because words came out of my mouth and a word came out of your mouth. There is no actual connection there. Connections come from follow-up questions and intrigue, and then turn that into this. So let's model a situation. So I go up to a girl at the bar. Let's see, what should her name be? Let's say her name is Julie. Okay. So I go up to Julie. Julie's sitting at the bar. And I'm like, hey, how are you doing? She's rolling her eyes like, oh man, some other guy, blah, 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 some pickup line. I was like, no, hey, I'm going to keep this really simple. Just really simple. Just answer me this one question. Just tell me, how was your day today? You can answer it short and sweet. You can say whatever you want. If you want me to leave you alone, I will. Julie, how was your day today? Well, maybe let's say that she says 2 or 3 things. There's going to be a question about that and a question about that. And we'll do a question. Wow. Guess what? People like to talk about themselves. People sometimes need to get certain things off of their chest. They want to communicate. And if my line of questioning feels and is coming from a place where I actually care what happened to you today. I don't know you. I just saw you at a bar drinking your 4th martini. It must not have been that great. But I want to know. Let's talk about it. Now, 10 minutes of 3 or 4 questions and having a conversation, I can promise you this. If I turn around, okay, nice to meet you, Julie. Thanks for telling me. I turn around and walk away. She's like, let down. Why? Because it was enjoyable talking to me. Well, you actually seem like a normal guy. You actually weren't just here for one reason. Like we would all talk to somebody like that. If I'm sitting at a restaurant by myself and somebody comes up to me and asks me, how was my day today? Well, first of all, I would think it'd kind of be probably weird. It doesn't usually happen that way. But just think about it for a second. It doesn't have to be in just those situations, but we have to ask questions. That's what I want to make sure. We want to connect with people. We ask, give them the microphone. Tell me, what did you feel about this? What did you think? Wait, explain this again. I didn't understand that. Wait, I missed this one thing. Boy, okay. And you get it. Now, I will give you a little bit of a clue. If you're in any situation, it'd be really cool if kids got this. If you're in any situation where someone is engaging in conversation by trying to find out more and asking questions to get to know you because they care, hey, at some point you got to flip the table. You got to do the same thing to them. I mean, that's if we're trying to build a reciprocal friendship or relationship with 2 people, then it has to go both ways. We all know the type of person that seems like they only like to talk about themselves, but they don't care about me. I don't want to be that person. You don't want to be that person. And the way to not be that person is just give them what they're giving you. Okay. The other thing is, and how to form true connections is it all stems from the word love. When we love people, when we show love, when we show affection and caring, people feel that. We don't have enough of it sometimes, and it's not because we're such a hateful group of people. That's actually not the reason why. Don't believe that. We are not as hateful as people want to lead on. That's an over-dramatized word and a problem that doesn't exist to the level that you might think it is. It's more apathy. It's more laziness. It's more we're caught up in our own worlds. We're caught up in ourselves. Self-centered, selfish. That's not hateful. That's a way different thing. Hateful is a funny word because you can kind of throw it out there and it seems to cover all sins, but it's not specific enough and it's not accurate enough. What really happens is we just don't care about other people. We just don't, and that's why I love when we love people and in the way that God loves people and the way that we should love people, it changes something about it. Instead of looking in and having a selfish, self-consumed mentality, it's how can I give to you? How can I give back? It's kind of like the whole mentality of paying it forward. That's a great thing, but let's do it in conversation. Let's do it in really getting to know someone. I have an idea that I'm going to do. I'm going to run this by you guys. I don't know if anybody in my family listens to my podcast. Maybe they do. Sometimes they do, but I don't know. But here's what's happening in Thanksgiving of next year. It's an idea I have. So I'm hosting Thanksgiving. Here's what happens at Thanksgiving. Let me know if this happens at your house. What happens is everybody kind of is in their own world doing their things, right? You're talking to here, there, you're getting the food ready. There's people of all ages, right? Let's say that at your house in Thanksgiving, there's 20 people that are there. Some of these people, maybe this is the only time you'll see them this year, people traveling or whatever. Well, you guys have your ways that the holidays kind of work in your house. And how often do we really get to know and connect? How often do we have kind of the same, and I'm not trying to say this in a judgmental way, but kind of the same superficial type of conversations like, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Like, you play the sport, you're doing this. Like, but we don't get it. We don't get into it. We can get into it a little bit more. We can actually do this through asking questions. So tell me this. Tell me who at your school is your favorite person that you get to hang around with at school. Tell me that. Let's say you're talking to a sixth grader. We all know that sixth grader isn't going to just come up and start sharing their life with you. Heck, some of these answers their parents may not even know. So Kirsten, the sixth grader, is talking about her favorite person, and she says, my favorite person is April. April is my favorite person, my sixth grade buddy. What's the next question? Well, why? Well, and they kind of get a little shy. Well, they kind of say like a halfway answer. No, tell me more. Like, does April spend a night at your house? Do you guys play sports together? Like, and you keep going. Well, now guess what's happened? With Kirsten, we have a full story of her life, of not her whole life, of one element of her life that if we didn't actually engage her, we wouldn't even know. And do you know what this does for relationships when we connect in this way? It shows that we love. It shows that we care. It shows that you're more important than me talking about myself right now. I want to know about you. You're not going to get to hide, and we're talking. It's not the kids' deal. This is the adults. The adults in a room need to engage, and that's my challenge. That's the whole focus point of this particular podcast episode is let's do this better. We don't want kids lonely. We don't want kids having to figure out life all the time by themselves. We want adults and kids walking hand by hand in solid relationships, somebody that they can trust, somebody that has good advice they can look up to. But guess what? If you don't show them love, if you don't give them attention, if there's not authentic, true, meaningful, impactful connections, you're a waste. You're wasting their time and you're wasting your own time. Go back to your phone, check your Facebook status, check how your stock market's doing, go bet on a couple teams, go do the same trivial things that you do every day. But guess what? You missed out on another opportunity to connect with a human being that actually may need you. So we can't live selfishly. And that's my thoughts for you all today. Let's look at our parenting advice. Well, the whole thing was parenting advice, basically, right? Why and how do we connect with people? Model this. Have your kids model this as well. Teach your kids how to ask adult questions, and it's just even one follow-up question. How are you? Great. Well, why are you great? There's a follow-up question. Okay, you get an A+ for the day. 2 questions. See if you can have your kid ask somebody 2 questions random. Dad walks in. How about Dad, tell me, how was your day today? Whoa. Kids don't ask their dads that every day. All of a sudden the dad feels kind of, well, sweetie, I mean, it was good, and he's going to give a generic answer like we all do. Come up with one more. Okay, Dad, I just got a note. What do you eat for lunch today? Do you even eat while you work hard all day? Something silly, something serious, but something. I'm telling you, if you can create that as a skill set for your youngster, they are going to be so successful in the business world, because the business world is all about connecting and being relatable and being someone that people want to be around. That will take you places regardless of your job. The song, it was kind of a fun song. It's a song called Connect by Drake. And the reason why I chose this song is simply because the whole crux of the song is the person that he's singing about in this song wants a real connection. He's tired of the fake. He's tired of the things that are meaningless, tired of just the mundane. We all want and need and value real connection. Folks, thank you so much for joining. This was episode 39. Big 4-0s coming up next. We should have a party. Can't wait to see you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Until next time, get on TikTok. Follow me on Instagram. Come on, folks. Help me out on that. I appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening. Let's keep the conversation going. You can reach out on Ben's website, www.benkeechshow.com, or on social media to chat. And please remember to subscribe so that you never miss an episode.